In our first story, businessman Alfred Woyome has accused former Attorney General Martin Amidu of being used by unseen forces to make the president unpopular in the sight of voters. The embattled businessman, who is at the center of the 51.2 million cedi judgment debt saga, on Friday addressed a press conference to correct what he says is the misinformation in the public domain. Mr. Woyome also accused the former AG of peddling falsehoods.
Martin Alamisu Amidu was called by the President of the Republic of Ghana during that time because of an issue concerning his health. And in that meeting, Martin Alamisu Amidu attempted to be the President of the Republic of Ghana. So he was supposed to be sacked. Immediately, Martin went out and made accusation that my colleague ministers and every other person are corrupt and that, this and that, this and that. So the president asked him, Mr. Martin, 7 days, give me proofs of those corruptions, or I sack you. Martin then went and hatched on Alfred Woyome issue which he himself is involved, and went to court. Fine, I'm ready. The money that was paying me, I signed that. If the Republic win, I refund it. That is it. It's on record. So I didn't care. Let us go. Then he started the media issues. 7 days arrived. He didn't prove any single record, and I challenged him to bring the list of the ministers in the government of Atamis that were corrupt that he said so. You have the records, you have it. He has never proven one. So because of that, the president sacked him. He was not sacked because there is any gangantua, anything there. Today I'm speaking to you for the first time. It's a lie. Martin has a problem. If he wants to challenge me and everything, he should go to court immediately, and we will ask the court to call the appropriate authorities so that we bring that in and discuss it, because I'm not the one going to discuss it. So Martin is being used by unseen forces as a weapon against innocent people and people who are doing very well, including the President of the Republic of Ghana, and seeking re-election. And he using it. In fact, those using Martin are using him against himself. Sometimes that's why sometimes I feel restrained to either sue him for defamation or anything, because I understand what is the problem of Martin.
Well, Mr. Woyome also described as untrue claims that he gave the Attorney General a fake check of 4 million cedis.
We have one country, and it's a republic. And we need to respect the country we have. We don't have any other one. And I don't think the Republic of Ghana, I here, as a citizen, proud one of course, will try to play pranks on fellow Ghanaians. No. No, not at all. The so-called check was written by me. I made a check without writing who is meant to, because I was confused as to who should be the recipient. And after a meeting with the Attorney General, in the presence of the Solicitor General and all these people with agreement we signed with the state, in compliance with the judgment of the Supreme Court, I'm talking about the original judgment. And this check, I was told that there is a suspense account with Yoko.
In other stories, the police in the Eastern region have picked up 22 people following Thursday's raid at a Galamsey site at Asamaman in the Eastern region. Here is the Public Relations Officer of the police in the Eastern region, DSP Nketia.
More importantly, those who were wounded on both sides all are okay. So the casualties and also those who are arrested, everybody 22 of them were arrested. 22 of the Galamsey. In fact, I must emphasize that they are not langars. They are illegal miners, which in our local parlance we call Galamsey operators, who attacked police in Asamama during the violent confrontation. Later on, it brought to our notice that 2 of them were dead, 8 of them wounded. 2 police officers also seriously wounded, and the Kibi in the Sea Hospital initially treated them, and some of them were referred to the Eastern Regional Hospital. Those who were referred were one of the illegal miners. He received a gunshot wound on the left leg. Then a police officer who was knocked unconscious by the illegal miners. But now all of them have recovered and they are recuperating.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Also, the illegal miners, after blocking the road, smashed the windscreen of Toyota air-conditioned Toyota bus that Resec hired for the police for the operation. As I'm talking to you now, the 22 who were arrested have been transferred to the Eastern Regional Police Command to help in investigation.
We're staying on the police, and the Inspector General of Police, John Kudalo, has admitted that his men failed to live up to standards expected of them during last Sunday's clash between security detail of the opposition New Patriotic Party presidential candidate Nana Akufo-Addo and supporters of the governing National Democratic Congress. There are conflicting reports about what may have sparked the violence in front of the NPP leader's residence at Nima. But in his first ever comment on the matter in an exclusive interview, Mr. Kudalo said President John Mahama was right when he said his men failed.
As the Inspector General of Police of this republic, I know I'm very much in charge. I don't know whether it's by plan or design, but all these distractions and all this name calling, I don't take them as anything at all. In this position, I will have to. These are the nuances. But unfortunately for us, those of us at this side, we can't talk. But you must remember that we are also human. But we as a police force will remain focused. We shall not be detracted. Try to ensure that we go according to our mandate and deliver Ghana a very successful elections. As at now, that's our main duty. And no distraction will let us go off course.
And sir, I know you have said that the Sunday event is still being investigated, but just recently the president commented on it and said that your men did not meet up to standard in terms of responding proactively to whatever happened on Sunday. What have you got to say on that?
Oh, I'll say that the president's analysis and statements are correct because we sent him the report. I came and did a report start through the night to about 5 a.m. and made sure that a report was sent to a looking at the nature of the issue for him to be able to comment on it. So what he said was objective report that was based on facts and analysis from the IGP's office.
But so far, what have you got on that?
I think okay, I'll not go further.
Meanwhile, in his peace message, the IGP warned any individual who misbehaves as the nation goes to the polls in 18 days would be dealt with.
I'm John Kudalo, Inspector General for Police, and I stand for peace. My peace message to Ghanaians is that we should all try to comport ourselves, be very, very responsible in our speeches and our behavior as we approach the elections, because the laws and rules of the country before, during, after the elections are the same. So let's just play to the rules. Let's be very, very responsive. Go to the election or polling stations, cast your vote, go back and relax. At 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock when the results start trickling in your quietness of your bedroom or your chamber, you can listen to it. Nobody should go there and try to abrogate unto himself the powers of the Electoral Commission. The polling agents should be very vigilant and then alert. They should know that they are there for a purpose. They should not go and abrogate unto themselves authorities that don't belong to them, trying to check those who are of age or not of age. There's to ensure that the number of people who vote correspond to the papers that they are taking, and make sure that nobody is shortchanged. But they should not abrogate on themselves the authority of the returning officer or presiding officer at the polling stations. The police officers, as I've always warned them, will try to be very neutral, impartial, and professional as possible, because our demeanor, actions, and inactions will let people try to color us in various shades. We try to plow through the middle and come out very professionally. Once again, I know that we've done it 6 times, and this time around, Ghana will come out in one whole piece and not in pieces. God bless our homeland, Ghana.
And you're watching Joy News Prime. And still ahead, the Progressive People's Party's Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum takes his turn at the presidential encounter organized by the state broadcaster GBC. We will bring you excerpts of what he will say after the short break.